Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. India's new criminal laws come into force, replacing colonial-era statutes. First FIR registered in New Delhi. In France, a far-right bloc wins the first round of parliamentary election with 33% vote. President Emmanuel Macron's alliance stands at a distant third. And the 2024 Wimbledon begins on Monday. World number 3 Carlos Alcaraz is the men's singles defending champion, while Marketa Vondrousova will defend her women's crown against a host of other hopefuls. India's justice system is getting a major makeover with 3 new laws replacing British colonial-era legislations. It aims for a faster trial, mandatory forensics and a more victim-friendly system.
Over a century, India's criminal justice system operated under the shadow of its colonial past. Sluggish case processing and limited victim rights plagued the system. However, a recent revolution is rewriting the narrative. In 2024, India ushered in a new era with the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha Sanhita and Bharatiya Sakshat Adhiniyam. These new laws replace the archaic British-era codes, aiming to streamline processes, empower victims and deliver swifter justice. Gone are the days of victims spending hours filing complaints. The cornerstone of this reform lies in speed and transparency. Today, a few clicks on a phone app can initiate the process. This online FIR, or First Information Report system, not only saves time but also empowers victims, especially those in remote areas or facing mobility limitations. But the reforms extend far beyond convenience. The new laws prioritize victims' rights, placing them at the center of the legal process. Witness protection programs ensure safety, and courts must consider victim input before dismissing a case. This shift in focus acknowledges the emotional and psychological toll crimes inflict. Furthermore, the system is becoming more inclusive. Elderly individuals, women and people with disabilities no longer face the additional burden of navigating crowded police stations. Investigations can now be conducted in the comfort of their homes, a small yet significant step towards accessibility. Technology can also play a crucial role in the new system. Mandatory forensics for serious crimes ensures stronger evidence collection, potentially leading to higher conviction rates. Additionally, virtual court appearances allow for swifter proceedings and eliminates the stress of travel for victims and witnesses. However, like any other major reform, challenges persist. Ensuring proper implementation across the vast and diverse Indian landscape is paramount. Concerns regarding potential misuse of police power also requires vigilant monitoring. Despite these hurdles, the new legal framework represents a significant leap forward. India's criminal justice system is no longer an archaic relic, but a system striving to be faster, fairer and more respectful of all those who seek its protection. This is a revolution with the potential to transform the lives of millions, offering them the hope of a justice system that truly works for them. Bureau Report, DD India.
And police in India's capital, New Delhi, began registering complaints under the new laws. The first such police complaint was registered against a street vendor under Section 285 of the Code for obstruction under an aerial bridge at the New Delhi railway station. And the next report busts certain myths associated with the new criminal laws. Take a look.
The newly enacted laws Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha Sanhita and Bharatiya Saksha Act, which will completely overhaul the criminal justice system in the country, will come into effect from July 1st this year. The 3 laws got the Parliament's approval on December 21st last year and President Draupadi Murmu gave her assent on December 25th. The laws will replace the colonial era Indian Penal Code, the Code of Criminal Procedure and the Indian Evidence Act of 1872, respectively. The three legislations aim at completely overhauling the criminal justice system in the country by giving definitions of various offences and their punishments. However, the provision related to the cases of hit and run by vehicle drivers will not be implemented immediately. There are several myths related to these three laws. Myth says sedition is gone but appears as Deshdroh in Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita 2023. However, the truth is that the colonial legacy related to the sedition section in the IPC has been removed in the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita 2023. Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita 2023 brings clarity by explicitly defining Deshdroh as actions endangering the sovereignty, unity and integrity of India. Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita 2023, Section 152 goes beyond criminalizing expressions causing hatred towards the government. It punishes acts such as armed rebellion, subversive activities and separatist activities.
Both houses of India's parliament resumed their sitting on Monday. The ruling BJP started a debate on the motion of thanks on the president's address in the lower chamber. The Lok Sabha has allocated 16 hours for the debate, which will conclude with Prime Minister Narendra Modi's reply on Tuesday. 21 hours have been allotted by the Rajya Sabha, the upper chamber. Meanwhile, the Speaker of the lower house paid tribute to the late President of Iran, Ibrahim Raisi, and his entourage, all of whom died in a helicopter accident on the 19th of May.
ये सभा इस दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण हेलीकॉप्टर दुर्घटना में इस्लामी गणराज्य ईरान के राष्ट्रपति महामहिम डॉक्टर सैयद इब्राहिम रईसी, विदेश मंत्री डॉक्टर हुसैन अमीर अब्दुल्ला हियान तथा अन्य वरिष्ठ पदाधिकारियों के निधन पर ईरान की सरकार और वहां की जनता के प्रति गहरी संवेदना व्यक्त करती है.
General Upendra Dwivedi took over as India's 30th Army Chief on Monday. General Dwivedi received a Guard of Honour in New Delhi. The Indian Army Chief was commissioned into the infantry of Jammu and Kashmir Rifles in 1984. He has the unique distinction of a balanced command as well as staff exposure across the northern, eastern and western theatres in varied operational environments.
Immense pride and honor for me to be assigned the responsibility to lead the Indian Army. The glorious traditions of the Indian Army rest on the legacy of valor and sacrifice of our soldiers. On this occasion, I pay my solemn tributes to the brave hearts who made supreme sacrifice in the line of duty. The geopolitical landscape is changing rapidly and technology is evolving at a very fast pace. The Indian Army faces a unique operational challenges, and to remain prepared for such threats and distinctive requirements, it is crucial that we continuously equip our soldiers with the state-of-the-art weapons and technology and also continue to evolve our war-fighting strategies. The Indian Army is on the path to transformation and we aspire to be Atmanirbhar.
Earlier, the Army Chief laid a wreath at the National War Memorial in New Delhi and paid homage to the fallen heroes. General Dwivedi takes over as the Army Chief at a time when the global geostrategic environment remains dynamic, with the challenges in the security domain becoming more pronounced because of technological advancements and ever-changing character of modern warfare. Monday is the 9th anniversary of Digital India, which is proving to be a milestone in India's progress. Over the last few years, through Digital India, the country has set an example of how right use of technology can prove to be revolutionary for the convenience of people.
Under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, India is continuously moving towards a developed India. The Digital India campaign has strengthened the resolve in this direction. The Digital India project was launched on 1st July 2015 with the aim of improving the country's digital infrastructure system. In the last 9 years, through Digital India, India has set an example of how the right use of technology can prove to be revolutionary for the development of humanity. Today, instead of cash money in our pockets, we have started keeping money in our mobile wallets, and even the poorest of the poor people are moving ahead digitally. The Digital India program aims to transform India into a digitally empowered society by focusing on digital literacy, digital resources, and digital platforms. For the past few years, Digital India has been playing an important role in the progress of the country. Let us show you some statistics on how Digital India is proving to be a milestone in the progress of the country. UPI transactions are continuously increasing in the country. In the year 2023, the total number of UPI transactions was more than 100 billion. By December 2023, UPI achieved the target of 8,572 crore transactions. The contribution of digital economy to India's GDP is steadily growing. India's digital economy accounts for 10% of its total economy and is expected to reach around 20% by 2020 to 2026. The digital economy is expected to contribute 62% to India's technology sector by 2030, up from 48% in 2022. India's digital transformation over the last 10 years has been unprecedented. It all started with the launch of the Digital India Initiative in 2015. By 2023, India has over 850 million internet users, enjoying the cheapest data cost in the world. India has leveraged technology to transform governance, making it more efficient, inclusive, faster, and transparent. India's unique digital identity platform is covering over 1.3 billion people. India has used the power of the JAM Trinity, Jan Dhan bank accounts, Aadhaar, and mobile to revolutionize financial inclusion. The Gati Shakti platform, or the online public procurement platform, government e-marketplace, have brought transparency and integrity in the process. It also promotes e-governance. Digital India campaign has played a vital role in transforming India into a digitally empowered society and a fast-growing economy. News Bureau, DD India.
The Goods and Services Tax Day is being celebrated in India. The GST was launched on the intervening night of 30th June and 1st July in 2017. It's a comprehensive indirect tax and it has transformed the country's tax system by eliminating multiple complex taxes levied by national and regional governments. Goods and Services Tax simplified the tax structure by improving transparency and efficiency. India's proactive strategies in capturing supply chain shifts coupled with diversification efforts through the China Plus One strategy have propelled the country into a leading position in mobile phone exports. Quoting an article published by an English newspaper, India's Minister of Electronics and Information Technology, Ashwini Vaishnav, said that the country's focus on manufacturing with Make in India and production-linked incentive scheme is showing good results. The article says that the remarkable growth in exports, particularly in the iPhone segment, signifies a significant milestone for India in the global market. It said that India is fast bridging the gap with China and Vietnam in terms of mobile phone exports. While FY24 mobile exports from China and Vietnam fell 2.78% and 17.6% respectively from the year before, exports from India surged 40.5% as per global trade data. India has captured nearly 50% of the reduction in corresponding mobile phone exports from China and Vietnam. Now, this suggests that the objective of gaining a bulk of the supply chain shift from China has been met. India celebrates National Doctors' Day on 1st of July to acknowledge and recognize the invaluable contributions of doctors to individual lives and communities. The day is celebrated annually in India on 1st July to honor the birth and death anniversary of Dr. Bidhan Chandra Roy, a renowned physician, freedom fighter and former Chief Minister of the Indian state of West Bengal. On the occasion of Doctors' Day, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi extended his warm greetings to all doctors working hard for the well-being of others. He said on X, and I quote, "Greetings on Doctors' Day. This is a day to honor the incredible dedication and compassion of our healthcare heroes. They can navigate the most challenging complexities with remarkable skill. Our government is fully committed to improving the health infrastructure in India and ensuring doctors get the widespread respect they deserve, unquote. And still to come on DD India Live. India joins UN-led talks on Afghanistan in Qatar. It's the third meeting of its kind, but the first to include the Taliban. US top court rule on a case concerning Donald Trump's claims of presidential immunity. And North Korea fires 2 ballistic missiles off its east coast.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
You're watching DD India Live. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. A United Nations-led 2-day conference of special envoys for Afghanistan from nearly 24 countries, including from Afghanistan, is underway in Qatar. It's the first time that the Taliban is participating in the gathering to discuss international engagement with Afghanistan since UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres initiated it. The Taliban delegation is led by its spokesperson Zabihullah Mujahid. He demanded an end to financial sanctions and expressed a desire for greater engagement with the West while dismissing curbs on women's freedom as a policy difference. Before the start of the formal talks on Sunday, the Taliban spokesperson held a meeting with India's diplomat JP Singh. Now, they discussed about strengthening the relations between the two countries. The Taliban thanked India for giving wheat and other aid to Afghanistan. The Taliban spokesperson also held similar talks with representatives from Russia, Saudi Arabia, and Uzbekistan. The far-right National Rally Party has dominated the first round of voting in France's parliamentary election. According to exit polls, the anti-immigration party National Rally secured 34% of the vote, while the left-wing coalition called New Popular Front won about 28%. President Emmanuel Macron's centrist Ensemble party came third. Elections for the 577 seats in France's National Assembly are a 2-round process. In constituencies where no candidate wins more than 50% of votes in the first round, the top 2 candidates, as well as any candidate with more than 12.5% of the total number of registered voters in that constituency, move to a second round. Whoever gets the most votes in the second round wins the seat. This time, almost 300 constituencies may go for next round of elections, on the 7th of July. William Denslow reports from Paris.
There was a strong voter turnout in these elections, with early estimates saying that around 65% of the roughly 50 million eligible voters in France showed up to cast their ballots. We've heard from Marine Le Pen, the figurehead for the National Rally Party, who said that that strong voter turnout further strengthened the feeling of legitimacy in the National Rally's strong performance in this first round of voting. However, she says that the voting process is only halfway complete. She is urging supporters of the far right here in France to remain mobilised to secure an absolute majority for the party's leader, Jordan Bardella, next week. We have heard from French President Emmanuel Macron, who says that it is imperative for the French people to prevent that from happening. He says to do so, what is required is a clear democratic alliance for the second round. That's been a point somewhat reiterated by the left-wing coalition here in France, the New Popular Front. Some of its leaders say that it's imperative for its supporters to come together to prevent the national rally from even securing one more seat next week. William Denslow in Paris reporting for DD India.
Meanwhile, dozens of protesters gathered in the French capital on Sunday evening following initial results. Protesters set off flares in Paris as they marched through the streets, past smoking tear gas canisters and flaming trash cans. This election is seen as a huge setback for President Emmanuel Macron, who had called a snap election after his ticket was trounced by the National Rally Party in the EU Parliament election earlier this month. The US top court is expected to rule on Monday on a case concerning Donald Trump's claims of presidential immunity. The former US president is facing 4 charges related to attempts to subvert the results of the 2020 election. Jagrati Dave has more.
Among the 4 charges levelled at Donald Trump, conspiracy to defraud the United States. On the last day of its term, the 9 justices of the top court will decide whether or not Donald Trump is immune from prosecution because of his position at the time as President of the United States. The trial has been held up for months as the Supreme Court considered Donald Trump's appeal. It is considered unlikely that the trial will begin before November's general election, and if Donald Trump regains the White House, it's possible that he could shut down the case altogether or even potentially pardon himself. Now, the former president has already been convicted of falsifying business records related to hush money payments. In this case, he has pleaded not guilty, claiming that the charges are politically motivated. Jagrati Dave in Washington, reporting for DD India.
North Korea fired 2 ballistic missiles on Monday, and the second may have failed and blown up during an irregular flight. According to South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff, both missiles were fired from an area near South Korea's west coast. He said that if the second one exploded during its flight, the debris may have fallen inland in the north. The failed one would be the second failed launch in 5 days. And now to news from the world of sport. The Olympics is around the corner. Players, coaches and governments alike are set to witness the mega event. India is sending a strong contingent to the Games. An official send-off ceremony took place on Sunday. Deepika Mehta reports from New Delhi.
With just less than a month to the mega sporting event, Paris Olympics 2024, Union Sports Minister hosted the Olympic-bound athletes at a send-off ceremony on Sunday in New Delhi. The minister also unveiled the kit for the mega event, which will be donned by the athletes throughout the tournament and at the glittering opening ceremony in Paris. Speaking at the occasion, Union Sports Minister said that I wish all the players very best. He said that the players' participation in Olympics will make the entire country proud.
दोस्तों, ये देश के गौरव का प्रतीक होगा। दोस्तों, जब स्पोर्ट्स के लिए खेलने के लिए जाते हैं, देश के लिए भी आपका प्रतिनिधित्व ओलंपिक्स में 140 करोड़ की जनता को गौरव देगा।
Indian Olympic Association's president P.T. Usha also wished the team a very best, saying she has a lot of confidence in the team. The designer Olympic kits were unveiled by Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri. While addressing the event, Union Minister Hardeep Singh said that Olympics is the pinnacle of sports.
We are proud that our sportspersons were participating in the Olympics and hope that our hockey team would win a medal.
The Olympics 2024 is all set to take place in Paris this time from 26 July and will go on till 11th August, and India is going to present a strong contingent at the prestigious event. Deepika Mehta's report for DD India from New Delhi.
In tennis, the world's finest players will battle it out on the ultimate test of grass court with the 137th edition of Wimbledon Championship beginning on Monday. Wimbledon is the penultimate Grand Slam tennis tournament of the year, and it will conclude with the men's singles final on the 14th of July. All eyes will be on defending men's singles champion Carlos Alcaraz, who picked up his third Grand Slam title after winning the French Open in June. And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of DD India Live. You can get all the latest news and updates on the DD India mobile app. It's available on Android and iOS platforms. You can scan the QR code on the screen now to download it. So let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. You can connect with us on Facebook, X and Instagram. You can also check out our website ddindia.co.in. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. All of us here in New Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.